Wake the fuck up, samurai. We have a city to burn.
Now, if you're like me, you're probably wondering, why is John Wick in Cyberpunk 2077?
You're breathtaking!
Well, turns out that's not John Wick, you silly fuck. His name is Johnny Silverhand because his hand is silver and also the rest of his arm. But why though? This video is about to answer that question and also who Johnny Silverhand actually is. First, let's learn about the world that Mr. Silverhand lives in. Cyberpunk 2077 is based off a pen and paper RPG called Cyberpunk 2013. Cyberpunk 2013 is set in a cyberpunk world. Well, you might be asking, what the hell is a cyberpunk world anyways? It's basically a world where advanced technology meets the ghetto. A world where corporations rule the people. Kinda reminds you of our world, huh? Anyways, in this dystopian world, Johnny Silverhand is basically a hero. He is the lead singer of a legendary chrome rock band known as Samurai, and is known as a rocker boy. A rocker boy is actually a class that you could play in the original RPG. They have especially high charisma and can use that ability to manipulate mobs, crowds, and audiences to do their bidding. Think bards from D&D, but instead of trying to fuck everything, they get other people to do that for them. Also, according to the original Rocker Boy source book, Hitler was a rocker boy. Johnny Silverhand's real name was Robert John Under and was a soldier who fought in the Central American conflict, which was a war fought between a coalition of Central American states and the US. I won't go into the details of the war, but think of it as like the Vietnam War of Johnny's time. Anyways, Johnny became disillusioned with the fighting and deserted the army. He is currently deemed missing in action, and Johnny likes it that way. I didn't find any clear sources indicating how exactly he lost his arm, but we can make a pretty good guess that it got blowed up during the war. He did get his shiny new chrome arm from a certain mysterious and friendly doctor friend that he knows in Night City. After that whole business, he starts up a band known as Samurai. They have many hit singles and albums, such as Dancing with My Axe, Shippin' In, and Clone Wars. Samurai quickly became the hottest band around, and this is where Johnny Silverhand primarily got his reputation. Their songs were mainly about rebellion, speaking truth to power, and exposing the government and corporations' lies, making Johnny an iconic figure in Cyberpunk's world. We first meet Johnny Silverhand in Never Fade Away, which is a story found in the original Cyberpunk 2013 RPG box set. You can actually run it as a starter adventure for some players, but make no mistake, their characters are playing second fiddle and Johnny is the main character. In the story, Johnny Silverhand convinces his ex-girlfriend named Rogue to save his current girlfriend named Alt, who was kidnapped by a corporation called Arasaka because they want Alt to make a super duper hacky program thing that sucks the souls out of people known as the Soul Killer. Got it? Good. In the story, Johnny uses his rocker boy powers to stage an impromptu concert using the audience members as a distraction so that his friends can sneak into the corporate building where Alt is held. However, not all goes as planned and all hell goes loose. Johnny and friends manage to make it to Alt but are too late. Alt dies. Or does she? She actually ends up saving herself by uploading her consciousness to the internet. The last time we see Johnny Silverhand in the RPGs is in the source book titled Firestorm: Shockwave. Johnny's story is actually a smaller story contained within the big story of the Fourth Corporate War. I'm not going to get into what the war was about, just know that corporate wars are like world wars in that game of Cyberpunk, so it was a pretty big event. We find Johnny and his friends as members of a strike team to raid a corporate hideout, again, to save Alt, again, from Arasaka, again, because they want her to make another version of the Soul Killer, again. This time, however, it's Johnny that gets the bullet, and by bullet, I mean he gets ripped apart. Also, a nuke gets dropped on him. So how the hell is Johnny still around? Well, first of all, Mike Pondsmith himself, creator of the Cyberpunk RPG, says that
nobody ever stopped to look at the body. They just assumed. I did that on purpose.
Okay. What most likely happened is that Alt was somehow able to upload Johnny's consciousness to the web, much like she did to herself when she died. This makes sense since according to the gameplay footage and news about Cyberpunk 2077, it seems like Johnny now lives on a chip that interfaces with the main character's brain. And apparently one of the main plots of the game is that the chip holds the secret to immortality. Having your consciousness hang around without a body definitely sounds like one definition of immortality to me. And so that's the story of Johnny Silverhand, the iconic cyberpunk rock hero, deserter of the military, enemy of the government and corporations, and a friend to the common rebel. I'm sure I missed some things here and there, and those of you better versed with the cyberpunk lore are of course free to correct me and add stuff down in the comments below. My theory as to Johnny's fate in Cyberpunk 2077 is that he's still trying to save his girlfriend Alt, or at least trying to reconnect with her, and Johnny will likely need your help in doing just that. But we'll just have to see. I hope you guys like this video. Peace out.